Yeah, so I don't know where I lost you, but I was talking about that lintel, and I ought to take measures in the future to allow for its expansion. And I could also protect it from the heat a little bit better. That's one thing I would do. I had this chase cover made. Um, Works real well, but I found that it, once it heats up, it warps a little bit. And it actually, it picks up the front of the pan by like a ½ inch or something. So if you start out dead nuts level, once the thing's heated up, it picks up the front of that pan, which isn't a really big deal. I've been trying to, today I have a lot of sap on hand, but today I've been trying to boil a little deeper. I was finding myself flirting with trouble when I was down a little shallower. But so if I were to do this over again, I would maybe cut reliefs on the inside of this chase cover here, because the profile of this steel, it goes up and over and up and over, but then it drops down into that chamber about an inch, and I think I might cut relief cuts into the portion where it drops down, just to let it move and fold in on itself if it needs to, instead of creating these ripples right here. But there you can see the ripples that at least allow you to see the flame underneath. It ripples pretty good back here too, right at the bottom of the base stack, and you can, I'm sure it'd be next to impossible to pick up with the camera, but you can observe the nature of the flames that way. And I think in the future I might put in a little teeny tiny sight glass right here in the middle. Then you could see all the way forward through the thing. But then again, maybe that'd be moot if I put a flue pan on. This design would be easily expandable. I'd basically just need to stretch out the masonry 2 more feet, which really isn't that big of a deal at all, and then have that cap extended. Cost me $450 to have them make it, so I'd gladly pay to have them extend it, but I probably wouldn't have another one made. So that's something I aim to do. Obviously this is kind of a shady arrangement that I have here, this kind of clamshell thing with the plastic, and you can see my strap that I ran down underneath the arch, and so when I walk away I keep the thing chained right down so the wind doesn't get a hold of it. So when this arch ends up in a permanent location, I'll I'll extend it then, and yeah, ought to be able to boil quite a bit more. You can see the rod stick out right here on the side, and then the other one down there. So if I ever get around to having the machinist make those butterfly dampers for me, then that's how it'll be controllable. It's a WF Mason pan. Bought it used from a friend. It was in really good condition. I have 50 buckets this year. So far I've made about 8 gallons of sap. It's been a weird year, syrup. It's been a weird year. I have a lot of sap on hand today. Some friends gave me some, and yeah, just boiling. Right now I'm burning all this 10-year-old stove wood that I bought from my neighbor. Seems to go burn pretty well. I think I'd rather use regular cordwood, splits no more than 4 inches in any dimension, well, except for length. But yeah, it's all in all, I'm pretty happy with it. Oh, I got this pretty sweet door from a masonry heater that I removed from a house. It's a, I think if I were to buy one, it'd probably be 300 bucks maybe. Works real well. It has this flappy thing right here is controllable with this screw, but you need a thumb, which I don't really have right now. But there's yeah, you can see air inlet. I found that it's good to keep that open. Keeps, you know, it's an air wash, cooler air wash, so keeps the door itself cooler, keeps that granite lintel cooler. I mean I can open this barehanded. If I shut that, the door will get too hot and I can't touch that handle without gloves. I got a pretty good laceration on my thumb at work this last week. So I'm in this thing for 2 weeks. Hit the tendon. So it's kind of tricky to do things, especially fire the evaporator. It's getting hot in there too, so if my left hand goes into the firebox, no glove on, I feel it. So I have this big cumbersome glove for my left hand, which isn't, I don't have much dexterity there anyway. Yeah. Up there I have a stack thermometer. Hang on. But it only read to 1,000 and it would twist around, and I just kind of figured it would be kind of a continuous thing, so if it came right around and pointed at the 200, I was interpreting that as a 1200 degree thing, but it's not really reading accurate anymore. I know it was setting on 800 degrees this morning when the thing was cold, so probably ought to find a different thermometer or figure out how to utilize thermocouples. Sorry I haven't collected great data. You know, today I've had the energy to calculate the evaporation rate, and it is averaging out to a little over 12 gallons an hour. You know, I really should be weighing wood and noting the moisture content of the wood, and then we'd have good information, but it's not in the cards for this guy this year. It's a lot to ask from a clamshell plastic tent kind of guy. So I'll come back with that data when I'm in a respectable sugar house. But that's about it. Thank you.